All right, guys, let's talk about my plan for land. So, I logged into the main account again, and I can go over here to my land, and you can see that I am currently holding 201 lands. Now, most of my lands are in my region 98 Son, where I bought my 2 tracts, and I am in a great group of owners. So I own all of these lands except for one, because I sold one of my occupied lands because I got some extra occupied lands. And what I did with those occupied lands is I went ahead and I went out and I bought a magic plot in region 47 and a magic plot in region 120. Now I need to go to regions 47 and 120 and buy at least one regular land. I'm going to be probably doing that in the next couple days. And then I will be set up to at least do magic research in 3 of the regions. Now, one of the main reasons my plan is to mostly do Secret of Pretoria land research is because I feel like I will have the best chance of taking my 200 lands and becoming a pretty good Secret of Pretoria / grain farmer that might earn enough points within the ecosystem of our area to maybe be one of the leaders in the research points. Not a leader, but maybe one of the top people. Because Secret of Pretoria is a, deny yourself rewards. But the other reason why is because I didn't get super lucky when it comes to my land. My best item I did get actually is one epic magic land. So I didn't get my legendaries are just going to be grains farming because they're not legendary anything else. So it makes the most sense to just go ahead and load them up with some good people to farm grain. And then when it comes to my epics, they are also not good at anything except for farming land, except for the one magic epic. My occupied, I do have some rares. So the current plan is to take my 6 occupieds, very simply, farm SPS with them. My 2 legendaries will be farming the grain. My 7 epics that are non-magical will be farming grain. All of those will have totems on them because I have enough totems to put totems on all of that. And then I'm going to look where I'm at with how much grain I'm producing with those. I'm going to deck out my epic magic research plot with a very good totem and some very good alpha monsters. They're not gold monsters, but they will be max level alpha monsters. I will also be putting pretty high level alpha monsters and beta monsters within my keeps because that's stuff that I have, so that both my keeps are pretty good. And then all the rest of my land will be a mixture between research and farming, making sure that I am somebody who is earning research points and grain. Now, there is a chance in the beginning, if grain is holding a pretty good price to me, if Baby Omega's right, and it's half a DEC per grain, then I might scale down my research a little bit and make grain so that I am able to sell grain. Because if I'm able to make grain and sell it, like if this right here was worth 800,000 DEC, this 1.6 million grain, that would be pretty amazing to me. I'm not optimistic the price is going to stay that way unless SPS starts to go up in value. Now, the one thing that could happen, though, is maybe because of the fact that we all have to stake tons of DEC to get our monsters into this land and get it working. DEC hits peg. We start to burn SPS. And the burning of SPS to keep us, because of how many people are putting DEC into land, we actually do see SPS start to go up. In that case, the whole ecosystem should be more, but it'll actually help me because, I have 400,000 SPS plus some in the liquidity pool. I'm closer to 500,000. It's enough for me for now, considering we still get staking rewards for a very long time. I'm not selling, but I'm not really needing to buy a lot more. I could buy more at this price as a play, except for I need to be buying DEC, so I'm not. I'm just buying DEC. I'm buying it over on Binance Smart Chain. I'm earning it for renting out cards. I'm buying it over here on Tribal Decks. I'm just constantly buying 50,000, 20,000, 40,000, but I need millions. So I'm just going to keep doing that over the next couple months. Whenever I make a little bit of extra money off of anything, I put it into that DEC to get ready for this. Now, the reason why I plan to do the research, guys, is because the name of Land 1.5 is the Secret of Pretoria. The main part of Land 1.5 is this research game. It is before we get into the actual farming of resources to do crafting. So what could the Secret of Pretoria be? I don't know, but I hope my region and my overall area on the map can start to figure it out, because if we zoom out of this and we go into Pretoria, I am up here, and I am really hoping that this region is a region. Now, this is a territory, that this territory is one that agrees with me and wants to learn the secret, because I think the group that is the first one to learn the secret will be given a pretty good reward, and the players who are the top earners will be setting themselves up to do pretty good. I don't know for sure that I'll be right on that, but I've always kind of felt like if they're going to name Land 1.5, Phase 1.5, the Secret of Pretoria, well, then the big thing to do is to solve the Secret of Pretoria. That's the main thing you want to get done in 1.5, and so I feel like that's what I want to try to get done first. So, going to the chat, what do you guys think of my plan now that I'm finally reading the thing? Yeah, right. Birds, Bees, and Trees agrees with me. It's called the Secret of Pretoria, and yes, I did get at least one epic magic out of 200 lands. I was hoping to get a little more lucky, but I didn't get that lucky. And I just kind of feel like this is the big thing to do. But early on, when we first start, if a lot of others are doing this and they're doing this hard, because I'm only going to be doing this with my six plots that get double for doing this, right? It makes sense to me. But this is the X factor, because if there is some whales that want to whale out, right, and they don't want to, they have a tract, and they got big deep pockets, and they want to max monsters on every single plot, and they agree with me, they want to learn that secret, and they want to put 100 plots to the secret, not 50 and 50, and they're just going to buy grain, well, then that's when grain could be 0.08 or 0.8 DEC per grain. Then maybe I go to about, I have 200 lands, minus the 6, so it would be about a 90 doing research and 90 doing food, minus 10 either direction. Well, it might turn into like 150 doing food and 50 doing research if I can sell that for a very large amount of money, because that will allow me to get a lot more DEC to be ready to and to buy better monsters to put into the land, so that then once maybe that is fixed, I will have higher level monsters, because I only have about silver level monsters for about 50 of my lands. I haven't spent the money because there's no reason for me to buy the cards, because I need the DEC first. Also, if I can't get all 200 of my lands up and running in the beginning, farming grain and selling it is the one way to make DEC to then have it to be able to stake more monsters into my lands that I'm not quite using. I'm hoping, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have enough DEC to get them all staked and running, or at least like about 80% of my 200 lands on day one, but time will tell. I don't know exactly how soon day one is coming, and this whole SEC suit stuff made stuff a little bit messy. Yeah, so that's where I think it is, and this is kind of my plan for land. Tails did a video recently where he said, you should have a plan for land, and my basic one is to be somebody that tries to go for the Secret of Pretoria, doesn't really worry about mining SPS, because I've been responsible and already staked up a pretty big bag of SPS, and go ahead and go for the new things, grain and research. With the only way I don't, set it up so that I'm just farming a tiny bit more grain than research is if grain is actually worth a lot. At that point, I would farm more grain and just sell it, because it would just be one of those opportunities, maybe for a couple months, where you could earn a very, very good return. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that little, short speech about my land and my plan. And thank you for a little bit of feedback there, birds, bees, and trees.